Game week 4 is officially in the books, and wow, what a crazy week it was. It was the most unpredictable fantasy Premier League week so far this season. Everything wild happened and nothing went as expected. Some of you probably saw your rank skyrocket, while others went into a nosedive with no parachute. But now that the dust has settled, let's take a deep breath and break down what we can learn from this chaotic week. Let's start with Manchester United. Sure, they look decent against Southampton, but let's be real, who doesn't? Southampton are conceding a ridiculous 2.5 expected goals per game, easily the worst defense in the league right now. It's a goldmine for every team they face. Coming up, Southampton have Bournemouth, Arsenal and Manchester City, so we should seriously consider players like Semenyo, Saka, Haaland and of course Kevin De Bruyne. Brighton, meanwhile, were held to a goalless draw against Ipswich, but Mitoma still managed to shine for them, creating loads of danger with 3 shots and an XG of 0.6. He's priced at 6.7, and trust me, there aren't many players in that price range who can compete with him. However, Brighton's next 2 fixtures are against Nottingham and Chelsea, who both look solid defensively at the moment. So I wouldn't rush to buy Mitoma just yet. Fulham fought out a 1-1 draw against West Ham, and to be honest, they deserved more. Rodrigo Muniz, who's been a popular pick, hasn't been delivering at all in the first 3 games, and he didn't even start in this one. If he's still in your team, it's probably time to move him on. Stay tuned for our AI model's recommendations for better forwards. One standout from that match? Adama Traore. He fired off 4 shots, hit 0.6 XG, and had 0.1 XA. If he keeps this up, goals are bound to come. At just 5.0, he's looking like a much better option than the ever-popular Emile Smith-Rowe. Fulham's next few games are tough. They face Newcastle, Nottingham and Manchester City, but if you're looking for a player in that price range, Adama is your best bet right now. Robinson, Fulham's left back, is also quite popular, but let's not get too excited. He hasn't taken a single shot in 4 games and averages only 0.19 expected assists per game. He's cheap and playing consistently, but unless you already have him, there's no need to rush to buy or sell. Now for the shocker of the week, Liverpool losing to Nottingham at Anfield. Nottingham's defence is legit this season, ranking 3rd in league with 0.76 XA per game. Their defenders aren't the most attacking, but Sales, Milenkovic and Aina are 3 budget options I'd keep an eye on if you need to boost your defence. Up front, Chris Wood could be a solid choice with a 0.78 expected goal involvement, but with 3 tough games coming against Brighton, Fulham and Chelsea, there are better attacking options out there right now. There were plenty of goals and excitement in the Crystal Palace vs Leicester match, which ended 2-2. Palace's defence just isn't as solid as last season, so I'd avoid their defensive assets. Here's a surprise twist. Gianfilippo Matà took a penalty for Palace. This changes the game for Iberici Easy, who becomes less appealing without penalty duties. He's still averaging 0.59 expected goal involvement per game, so don't sell him just yet. We'll discuss better options later. Manchester City barely scraped past Brentford 2-1. With Haaland reminding us all why not having him in your team is fantasy suicide. 2 more goals from him bring his tally to 9 from 4.8 expected. He's breaking the math. City's 2 most popular defenders, Gvardiol and Rico Lewis, played just 45 minutes, reminding us why Pep Roulette is a nightmare for FPL managers. On the Brentford side, Wissa scored again. That's 3 goals and 1 assist in 4 games, with an XGI of 1.02 per game. Unfortunately, he picked up an ankle injury that looks serious, so don't buy him until we get more info. They face Tottenham next, so let's wait on that transfer. Aston Villa pulled off a stunning comeback from 0-2 down to win 3-2 against Everton. Ollie Watkins is back in form, playing a full 90 minutes, scoring twice and looking sharp with 6 shots and 2 key passes. His numbers are incredible. With Wolves and Ipswich up next, Watkins, priced at 8.9, is a must-buy. Rodgers remains a popular budget pick in midfield, though he's been unlucky not to score or assist yet with an XGI 0.50. Only Adama Traore has better numbers in this price range. I wouldn't rush to sell him just yet. Defensively, Aston Villa are looking solid, ranking 4th in the league for expected goals conceded 0.93 per game. Digne at 4.6 is both attacking and has good fixtures ahead. Definitely one to consider for your defence. Chelsea, what can I say? They always find new ways to frustrate FPL managers. They managed a 1-0 win over Bournemouth, but it wasn't Palmer, Madueke or Jackson who scored. No, it was Christopher Nkunku, the player everyone sold recently. Classic FPL, right? Bournemouth were unlucky not to get a point, but in case you're wondering, Evan Nilsson is their penalty taker. Semenyo wasn't very noticeable in this match, but overall, he's still the best budget option in his price range. Bournemouth's next game is against Liverpool, so hold off on transfers for now. Chelsea have decent upcoming fixtures against West Ham and Brighton, followed by tougher games against Nottingham and Liverpool. Palmer, Maduik and Jackson are their standout players, but I wouldn't rush to buy or sell any of them right now. Tottenham vs Arsenal ended 0-1, a game decided by the smallest of margins. Those who sold Gabriel thinking this was a tough fixture for Arsenal were punished with a goal and a clean sheet. Despite the success, their next opponent is Manchester City, so it's not the time to load up on Arsenal players. On the Spurs side, they've been pretty average this season and no player really stands out. Son has been a huge disappointment, especially when he plays out wide, and he's not worth his high price tag. Porro is a decent option at 5.5. He's attacking, and Tottenham's defense is solid enough, but he's not in the same league as premium defenders like Trent Alexander-Arnold. In a match that could have gone either way, Newcastle beat Wolves 1-2. Isak's underwhelming performances continue. He was subbed off at halftime and has disappointing numbers with 0.34 XG and 0.17 XA per 90 minutes. He's not worth keeping in your team, especially with Fulham away and City next on the schedule. Now that we've reviewed each team, let's take a look at which teams have the best fixtures and which players stand out in each position according to our AI model. Pause the video to study the chart. For Game Week 5, Leicester have the easiest attacking fixture, while Bournemouth and Arsenal face tough matchups against City and Liverpool. Over the next 7 game weeks, Brighton and Newcastle have the hardest schedules, so stay away from their assets, while Everton has the easiest run of games. We'll talk about the best Everton players later. Pause again to check out the defensive difficulty rating for your teams. Southampton has the best clean sheet chance next week against Ipswich, while Bournemouth has the least playing Liverpool away. Across the next 7 weeks, Ipswich is unlikely to keep any clean sheets, while Nottingham Forest looks strong defensively. Seriously consider bringing in one of their defenders. Now let's go over the best players in each position according to our AI model. The top defender for the next 7 game weeks is Trent Alexander-Arnold, followed closely by Tottenham's fullbacks Romero and Porro. Robertson is right up there too, despite their lack of attacking threat. Gabriel and Milenkovic make the list due to the clean sheet potential of Arsenal and Nottingham. Robinson is also a decent choice, but not quite enough to justify his massive popularity. In midfield, King Salah reigns supreme, with his next game being one of the easiest for him. Is it time to bring him in? Bruno Fernandes is second on the list. Priced at 8.4, he's expected to outscore more expensive players. Mbeumo, who costs just 7.1, follows closely behind. His next game is away at Spurs, but after that you'll want to buy him. He's the best mid-price midfielder. Among budget mids, Semenyo and Adama stand out as great enablers if you're stacking your funds elsewhere. Avoid Smith Rowe. Despite his popularity, he's far from being a top option. Up front, it's no surprise that Haaland is in a league of his own. But if you can't afford him, Watkins is a must-buy at 8.9. He's the second best striker behind Haaland. If Wisa's injury isn't serious, he should definitely be in your team too. On the flip side, Isak is one to avoid. There are better, cheaper options available. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more.